Okay, so a lot of you lads seem to like what I'm doing as far as these videos. And I wonder if you just like the EDH content or you just like what I'm doing in general. So today, I'm going to depart from my normal EDH presentations and breakdowns because I'm out of EDH decks. I will not have another one built until I finish Array Ball, which is going to be a long-term process because I want a lot of the fancier foil, more expensive cards. So I just can't really afford it right now. And then the other EDH deck I'm working on is simply taking the Elvish Council deck from Lord of the Rings and upgrading it, replacing everything that can be foiled with foils, taking out the stuff that makes no sense, like Great Whale. Why the hell is Great Whale in a damn Elvish deck? Hornet Queen, I can kind of get it, but Great Whale, what the hell? And I don't think any of you really care about me doing that. You want to see the decks I built. Because the Frodo and Sam video I put up didn't get a whole lot of views. Anyways, what I've got today. This is my modern ecosystem. I've got 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 modern decks. But they're all obsolete except Merfolk. Merfolk I still keep relatively current in case I ever do get time to go to a tournament, which I don't expect I will anytime soon. So, why do I have this? Why did I put all the money into putting this crap together? I like modern. I like playing a controlled format. Modern is still accessible to where I've got one friend that he does play modern in tournaments. He's got 2 decks. He has the... what the hell is the guy? Yawgmoth Physician... Thran... Yawgmoth Physician, is that it? Yeah, anyway, he's got the Yawgmoth Physician Undying Bastard deck. And then he's got Hardened Scales. So it's fun to play against him. These decks are all obsolete. They all came from the 2018 to 2020 era of Modern, well before Modern Horizons 2 came out and all this hoopla over the elementals. And they're all relatively evenly matched against each other, and that will explain the sideboard choices. So what this allows me to do is I can take this to see my friend in Olomouc, or Struzna, depending where we're meeting, and we can have competitive 1-versus-1 games where I'm not blowing him out because my commander decks are much better than his. And if we can't get the lads together for a good night of EDH, then we have something more fair for him and I to do, or other friends. And actually last time worked out really good, and I tested some decks, including this one. I'm going to be showing off. It's either called Collected Bant or it's called Bant Nightfall. Those are the 2 relatively interchangeable names. It's a combo deck. So what it's got? It's got 1 Tireless Tracker. It's got some spell Quellers, Noble Hierarch. I made the mistake when I first built the deck. I decided to put Slowgurk just because he looked fun and he should work with the deck whenever a land comes into play or goes to the graveyard. Whenever a land goes to the graveyard, he gets a counter. If you remove the counters from him, you can return lands from your graveyard to your hand. In practice, the very first game, he sucked. He didn't suck. That's a misnomer. I shouldn't say that. He did not advance my game plan or defend me well enough to justify his inclusion. So after the first game, I immediately put the Reflector Mages back in. So the deck now does have 4 Reflector Mages because they're more relevant. It's got a couple of Finks. It's got some fetches. For this deck, anybody who's been watching my EDH content knows that I like foils. So for this deck, because I only needed a few dual lands, I went ahead and got the foils from the second Ravnica set, Return to Ravnica block, I guess we can call it. Another Hierarch. Collecting Company. The cool thing about this is not only will it dig for the Knight of the Reliquary, you really need to get the combo going, but you can use it in response to somebody casting something you don't like, and the spell Queller can hit. So you can cast Collected Company. If you find a spell Queller, you can put the spell Queller, that'd be fun. You can put this bastard into play and counter the spell until I can kill it. It's got two of these dudes, two Selfless Spirits. Oh, there's another Tireless Tracker. I thought I only had one. Okay, I will post the deck list with accurate numbers. Obviously, I don't play this often enough to commit the actual card numbers from memory. The commander, it's easy. There's one of this, there's one of that, there's one of this, there's one of that. There's 10 basic lands. There's one of this other thing. Modern gets trickier. So here is starting the combo. Lands, let's think about Horizon Canopy. And here is the combo. So for anybody who doesn't know how this works, basically what you do is if you have Retreat to Coral Helm in play and she's ready, tap her, get rid of a forest, goes in your graveyard, she gets +1/+1, start finding lands. The first land to find is Yavimaya, Cradle of Growth. So Yavimaya, Cradle of Growth comes into play. Tap it for mana. Go ahead and tap all the lands you can for mana when they come into play. If you want, you can use the fetch land as fetches rather than sacrificing to her ability, depending on your life total and how fast, what you want to do. But you want to have some mana floating in your mana pool in case you need to cast that Collective Company or cast a spell Queller to defend you from interference with your plan. So basically you're going to just go through here, oh look, a bird, tweet tweet, and dump every land. Yeah, Path to Exile. This should really tell you how long I've had this deck. I've read a lot on Reddit that Path to Exile is crap now. Okay, it still does what it does and says what it does, and a few of my decks, like General Domain, doesn't have any basic land, so Path to Exile is exile creature. Good game. What else before I... So you've got the Kitchen Finks combo with Gavany Township, should you need it. The foil land. Okay, so I do have two Selfless Spirits. So anyway, tap her, sacrifice a forest or plains, go get the Yavimaya, Cradle of Growth, put it in play. All your lands forests, so just keep tapping her, sacrificing a forest to bring a land out of your deck, and every time you hit a landfall trigger, she untaps. So ding 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 ding, and then eventually you'll have all 23 of your lands in the graveyard, making her a 23/23. And at some point what you're going to do is this land, Siduri Steppe, will have entered the battlefield tapped, but you can still sacrifice it to her if you've got the Cradle of Growth out. Give her protection from the color that your opponent is chiefly playing, or whatever blockers he has, and swing with the 23 some odd Knight of the Reliquary. One shot kill. That's the idea. So, like I said in the first game, Slogurk was more of a hindrance than anything else. He didn't... What do you want, Max? My cat is crying for something. He has food, he has water. I don't know what he wants. What do you want, Max? You just want attention. Hello, kitty. Okay, so he got some attention. So basically the deck is try to hit Knight of the Reliquary and Reflector Mage as quickly as possible, and it has light disruption in order to get you to that point. It has Thalia to slow down your opponents. It has one copy in the main of Qasali Pridemage in case you need to take out some artifact that's vexing you or some enchantment that's giving you problems. This is really good against Troll Worship. So the decks I have, obviously this Bant Nightfall, Collected Bant, whatever you want to call it. And then I have Absent Evolution, Burn, Death and Taxes, General Domain, a mono black deck of my own creation, which I don't think it would do good in the current modern environment, but in this ecosystem it does just fine. Soul Sisters, and Troll Worship. Troll Worship can be a real bitch to play because you will have a hexproof troll or some other hexproof creature. You will have worship, and then you have to get your damage through. You have to kill your opponent somehow. They can't kill you, but if you can't kill them, it's just, okay, I guess the next game. So anyway, that's why he's good in here for my purposes. Otherwise, this deck, I just went to MTG top 8. I had Knights of the Reliquary, I had a playset, and I just wanted to see what I could do with them, and I fell across this Collected Bant deck. So I got the pieces I needed and put it together. It does only have 3 Retreat to Corahelm, which makes it a bit more difficult to find. I'm not sure if I should go up to 4, but I'm just keeping with the 3. So that's the main deck. If you have any questions about it, just put them in the comments and I'll respond to them. So the sideboard. Sideboard is a second Qasali Pridemage, 2 Unified Will, because more often than not, or against certain decks, I will have more creatures than my opponent. Against Burn specifically, I should have more creatures than my opponent. Black, maybe. Soul Sisters, no. I will not usually have more creatures than my opponent. Absent Evolution, maybe. And General Domain, probably will, depending on if they have General Ferris Rochek in play and they're getting golems off of him. Then I've got 2 Scavenging Ooze, bringing against black, the mono black deck mainly. 2 Heroic Intervention. So part of the burn sideboard is Anger the Gods. So I've got a sideboard card against another deck sideboard card. Basically I wanted some sideboard and I just took cards that I thought were relevant in this obsolete ecosystem. More Disruption. Each opponent can't play more than 1 spell each turn, and again non-basic lands my opponent's control into the play tapped. Mirran Crusader. I haven't played this deck much, so I've not sideboarded him against anything, but he could be interesting obviously against the mono black, against Troll Worship, against Absent Evolution. Celestial Purge. It just seemed like something that I might want to sideboard in. Usually when I actually play these decks, we don't sideboard. We just play the main decks and go to the next game. But I like the idea of having a coherent sideboard so it feels more like a proper modern deck. Anyway, I'll get this posted. Let me know if you want to see a sample game. If you just want to see me goldfish it out and show you how it works in more detail than I explained. And if people like this, I'll do the other decks until I run out. Cheers.